Hello, sports fans, and welcome to what could easily be one of the most monumental moments in the modern era of Philippine tennis. We are standing at the dawn of a new chapter. For decades, the Philippines has lived and breathed sports, a nation that rallies behind its champions with a passion rarely seen anywhere else in the world. We have cheered in boxing, celebrated in basketball, and followed weightlifting triumphs. But today, all eyes turn to the tennis court. The focus of the sporting world, along with the hopes of over 100 million Filipinos, converge on the hard courts of the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. The long wait has ended. The silence of anticipation has been shattered. For the very first time, the Women's Tennis Association is bringing its tour to Philippine soil. This is the inaugural WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open, a tournament that signifies more than competition. It is a landmark for the country's sporting culture. And who else could possibly inaugurate this historic occasion than the nation's own trailblazer, the prodigy who has carried Philippine tennis into the international spotlight? Alexandra Eala is back home. But this is not a ceremonial parade or a fanfare-filled introduction. Today is a contest, a clash woven with tension, legacy, and opportunity. In the first round, the match that will officially launch this tournament, Alex Eala, seeded second and ranked in the top 50 in the world, will face a familiar adversary from her past, Russia's Alina Charaeva. Why does this match feel so electric? Why is the atmosphere so charged you could almost slice it with a knife? Because this is a rematch 6 years in the making. They faced off only once before, in September 2020, on the clay courts of Spain, where the teenage Alex was thoroughly outplayed in straight sets. That defeat was a defining lesson, a harsh reminder of the physical and tactical edge held by a more experienced opponent. But that was then. This is now. Today, Alex Eala is no longer the junior of 2020. She is a former junior Grand Slam champion, a player who recently traded shots with the world's elite at the Australian Open in Melbourne. She returns to Manila not as a hopeful teenager, but as a legitimate WTA-level contender. Yet Charaeva is no easy adversary. Ranked 169th in the world, she arrives in Manila hungry, confident, and carrying the psychological advantage of her previous victory. She knows she can win because she has done it before. The stakes are immense. A first-round loss in front of a home crowd that has waited years for this moment would be heartbreaking. A victory, on the other hand, could electrify the arena and ignite a week-long tennis frenzy, sending a clear message that the Philippines is ready to compete with the best. Today, we will analyze every angle. We will examine the speed and bounce of the newly refurbished courts at Rizal Memorial, explore the technical upgrades in Eala's serve that have helped her climb into the top 50, and break down Charaeva's Russian-style precision, flat, relentless, and aggressive, and how Eala plans to counter it. We will also discuss the psychological factor of playing at home. Will it energize or overwhelm? This is more than a match. This is a coronation, a test of fire, and a celebration of tennis finally establishing a home in the Philippines. The tennis world is watching because the Philippines has finally arrived on the global stage. The stage is set, the players are ready, and history is about to be written. I am your host, here to guide you through every angle of the Philippine Women's Open. Strap in. This is just the beginning. Let's set aside the hype for a moment and focus on the reality in Manila. To truly grasp the pressure on Alex Eala, you must understand the venue. The Rizal Memorial Tennis Center has hosted generations of Davis Cup matches and regional tournaments, but it has never seen a field of this caliber. For the WTA 125 event, the facility underwent extensive renovations. The courts are freshly resurfaced hard courts, reportedly playing at medium fast pace, a crucial detail. Eala, a left-hander, thrives on surfaces where her shots can skid and open angles off the serve. Medium-fast hard courts reward aggressive baseliners, while punishing hesitation, and if the court is truly fast, it favors flat hitters. A perfect scenario for Charaeva's style. But before we dissect her opponent, consider the atmosphere. The crowd is sold out. Tennis fans are usually restrained and polite, but in Manila, expect a Davis Cup-like intensity even for a first-round WTA match. Eala has experienced crowds like this before at the SEA Games, but this is different. Ranking points, career implications, and history are at stake. The Eala army will be out in full force. The question is, can a 20-year-old harness that energy without losing focus? At the Australian Open, she showed composure against top opponents like Alicia Parks, but representing your country at home is an entirely different challenge. Let's dive into Eala's current form. Her evolution over the past year goes beyond ranking points. It's about physical, mental, and technical growth. 2 years ago, Eala's serve was a weakness, a second serve vulnerable to aggressive hitters. A weak serve can be deadly at the professional level. But after intensive training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, her first serve now reaches 170 to 180 kilometers per hour with pinpoint placement. She consistently finds the tee or the wide corridor, making her lefty serve a powerful weapon against a right-handed player like Charaeva. A well-placed wide serve to Charaeva's backhand can open up the court for Eala's deadly forehand, which combines heavy topspin with the ability to flatten out down the line. Her recent 3-set loss to Alicia Parks at the Australian Open should not be seen as a setback. Eala took the second set and demonstrated resilience against a big serving power player. That match was an ideal preparation for Charaeva, forcing Eala to defend against pace and aggression. She comes to Manila match-ready, experienced, and battle-hardened. Now let's focus on the woman across the net. Underestimating Charaeva would be a critical error. She is a product of the Russian tennis system, which emphasizes discipline, mechanical precision, power, and mental toughness. Born in 2002, she is just slightly older than Eala, placing them in the same generation. Their previous encounter in September 2020 on the Spanish ITF circuit ended 6-3, 6-3 in favor of Charaeva. Why? At that time, Charaeva was stronger physically and more experienced on clay. She bullied Eala from the baseline, using a flat, low-skidding backhand that could be particularly difficult on Manila's hardcourt, which stays low for ground strokes. Charaeva's current ranking of 169 belies her potential. The WTA 100 to 200 range is intensely competitive, where a player can break into the top 100 with a strong run. She comes into Manila with nothing to lose. If she wins, she becomes the spoiler and advances. If she loses, she is simply a participant. That mental freedom makes her dangerous. Her recent European circuit play has shown versatility. She can attack from the baseline, handle multiple surfaces, and even volley effectively. Tactically, this match is a chess match. The first 4 shots of each rally, serve +1, return +1, often decide the point. Eala must dominate the serve +1, using her forehand to push Charaeva behind the baseline. If Charaeva is allowed to dictate rallies with flat ground strokes, Eala will expend unnecessary energy. On second serves, Eala must step in and attack early, creating breakpoint chances. Playing passive gives Charaeva room to dictate play. The first set will also be crucial mentally. The home crowd's roar can energize, but also create tension. Eala needs to settle into high-percentage tennis before unleashing her full arsenal. Finally, Manila's humid evening air favors the player accustomed to it, Alex Eala. If the match goes long, the conditions could become her ally, making the contest as much about stamina as skill. The stakes go beyond a single match. Asia's tennis circuit has long been dominated by China and Japan, and the Philippines has historically been a basketball nation. Alex Eala's rise is shifting the landscape. Hosting a WTA 125 signals that the Philippines is ready to compete on the global tennis stage. This match is the litmus test. If the energy is high and the tennis quality strong, this tournament can grow into a WTA 250 or 500 event in the future. Eala is playing not just for herself, but for the next generation of Filipino tennis hopefuls. The weight is heavy, but Eala's 5-year journey proves she is ready to bear it. While revenge against Charaeva is compelling, the larger story is arrival. Philippine tennis staking its claim on the world stage. In the career of a professional tennis player, playing a high-level tournament at home is rare. Most travel the globe, living out of suitcases and adjusting to foreign cultures. Today, Eala is not the visitor. She is the host. She will hear her language, feel the familiar humidity, and see her nation's flag proudly displayed by thousands. But tennis is unforgiving. The ball, the net, and the lines do not yield to history or emotion. Charaeva has come to win, armed with skill, discipline, and determination. The questions remain. Will Eala be crowned Queen of Philippine tennis? Will she erase the memory of 2020? Will her lefty forehand light up the court? Or will Charaeva play the spoiler, relying on flat strokes and experience to withstand the home favorite? The analysis is complete, predictions made, and warm-ups finishing. The chair umpire is ready. To the fans at Rizal Memorial, bring your energy while respecting the game. To viewers around the world, do not blink. You are witnessing history in the making. Alexandra Eala, Alina Charaeva, Philippine Women's Open, Round 1. This is more than a match. It is history unfolding. Thank you for joining this full preview. We will return after the match with an in-depth breakdown of every set, game, and point. Until then, enjoy the tennis.